in 2024, it's kind of a catch-22 if you create within sneakers, and more specifically, I'm speaking on sneaker YouTube, and it can be said for fashion in general, but hey, I create within this lane of sneaker YouTube, even though I've said in the past I don't feel like a traditional sneaker YouTuber. I just don't. The channel is titled Talks with TJ because I wanted to always just talk with you guys. I didn't want it to be centered around product 24/7, even though looking back, it's easy to get caught up in that by just buying what you want because you're able to. I've spoken on that in a lot of videos. No more of the 4 to 5 pairs a month, just not me at this stage in life. But I wanted to always just have these discussions with you guys, and it could be about sneakers or different things in relation to money and personal finance, and just making sure the main thing is kept the main thing, and that is your financial stability in whatever way you're actually able to take control of that. Because a lot of things are going to be outside of your control, but what is in your control is the choices you make. So yeah, I'll continue to speak on that. Conscientious consumerism has definitely taken over a lot of these talks, and that's because that is the state of mind that I'm in. Again, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. I'm not saying don't buy any shoes, don't buy any clothes at all. No, I still buy things, but it's absolutely nowhere near the rate of what it was before, and I see it continuing to slow down in the future. And a lot of you have expressed that that's the same for you, and maybe even not in the comment section, but you've expressed that maybe directly to me, just via messages. And you know what? We're here. We see each other. We get it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. And yeah, I think it's a catch-22 to be a creator. So I want to talk about that in relation to sneakers, but real quick, thank you so much just for the heartfelt, messages, the comments, the congratulations, the endless support in paying off my student loans. I am going to get to that video just in terms of the journey and, what I hope that individuals took away from it, what I learned during that entire time. If you've been around the channel since 2021, then you probably recall when I started the student loans versus sneaker reselling. And yes, I had to frame those videos in a very specific way because one, you kind of need people to click on the videos, and so centering them around a shoe in a very strategic way, that's just what I had to do. And I hate to say this, but yeah, dollar amounts will draw people in. So the higher the dollar amount on screen or in the title of the video, yes, that draws people in because people are just curious. Hey, what did you spend hundreds of dollars on or thousands of dollars on? And if it's in, how is it in relation to a shoe, or what is the context with it being a shoe? You just have to be smart in how you go about it and frame it as a creator. Some people jokingly said like, oh, the video thumbnail was clickbait. It was not. I would just say that, okay? Like if you wanted to infer that I paid $3,700, $3,700 for the Alma Maniere Jordan 3 while you were sleeping, I would hope no one did that. I would hope no reseller even did that because I don't know what you're getting from that in the aftermarket if you go to try to sell that and make your money back. No, it said I can't believe it, which I still can't. I'm in the first weekend of being student loan debt free. It's still very surreal. It's still very new to me. I'm still in that. It said I did it, and I did. I did it. I'm so grateful to God to have been in the position since 2021 of stable income and employment to put myself in a position to pay these loans off. And it took deliberate intention, consistency in those actions, but I'm beyond grateful to, I was instilled with what I needed to, okay? It's just God provided the willpower and I just had to stay the course, and that's what happened. So yeah, and then I said 3,700 spent. 3,700 was spent. It just happened to not be on the shoe, but we talked about the shoes in the thumbnail. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. To say that I inspired some of you, wow. You can hope that you do that, but you don't know. You don't know unless you guys express it. So again, thank you so much. All right, let's talk about the catch-22. And I think the place that sneaker YouTubers can find themselves in, that can be, that can include myself. Because I've seen this, and we're going to focus on two different things, but I've seen this on other people's videos. Because traditionally, the views that come along with videos, it can center around, Nike, Jordan. They still drive a lot of the conversation. It used to be Yeezys, and Yeezys can still drive a conversation now if you're looking for the deals and what's happening. And I understand there's a whole nitrous thing going on. We're not talking about that right here. We're just not. But those are traditionally like the brands that would drive the conversations. And then of course, like now we see New Balance and Asics, and depending on if it's running or performance related, it could be Brooks, it could be Hoka, it could be On. There are multiple players in the game in which you can censor your content around, and it just depends on how you want to censor that content. But I've seen viewers comment that they would like creators to branch out into these other models and brands and really highlight those. And they don't mean just like share their thoughts, but they want them to have the sneaker in hand and to actually put it on foot and do what they do with all of the other videos, right? Around retros or SBs or Yeezys, okay? And collaborations more specifically that they do with Nike and Jordan. Here's the thing. They could certainly do that because that's what's trending. That's what will get them into the algorithm very easily. Be careful about that, okay? There's a catch-22. There's a catch-22 with that. They could do this for views, but they may genuinely not be interested in the models themselves. I think you can have a creator and they're just a regular person also. Let's be mindful, right? I think there's this, I've tried to talk about that fine line. You can be just an everyday consumer and you happen to create content. That's usually how I see myself. Or like you're a full-time creator and it really is your job to show a ton of different shoes. So I understand the logic for a lot of viewers where you're like, hey, you're a full-time creator or you're close to full-time. Why not just go ahead and show your audience these additional pairs? They're certainly trending, they have buzz, and maybe we want to hear your thoughts. We think they will be valuable on the shoe. If it's genuinely not something that is interesting to that creator, it's just not in line with their style at all, no matter, it doesn't matter. It's just not in line with their style. For some people, their style, it just doesn't align with ASICs. Maybe it doesn't align with New Balance, the profiles, the silhouettes. It doesn't. And so I think they're being very true to themselves if they know deep down, I'm a Jordan head. And some of them are honest to say that. I'm a Jordan head. It's Jordan or it's nothing. Some of you are like that in the comment section, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But you may be, they may just know, it's just Jordan for me. It's just Nike for me. It's just Yeezy for me. They're remaining true to themselves. Who can argue with that? But it will get them in this position of people saying, why don't you try these other shoes? Here's the catch, okay? One, they would be disingenuous to themselves if they did that and they knew that these shoes did not align with their style. You tell people to buy what they like. They're not doing that if they're buying it just because you as a viewer want to see it if they know they genuinely don't like it. I understand if they're a full-time creator, their job is to try to get as many shoes out to you as possible and get the views and pay the bills because in this economy, that's a little difficult to do. Let's be real though, you all would call cap 8,000 miles away. You would sense how disingenuous they were for having those shoes on their channel if it just wasn't true to them. It took me a minute to come around to wearing New Balance. I had friends in high school and classmates in high school that wore New Balance a lot. I mean, a lot within track and field. That just wasn't me at that time. I remember the first New Balance I finally had and I put on the channel was a 997 Sport. It was a 997S. And I fell in love at that point, and the collection, it slowly built up. I was that person within sneakers where, hey, I have some interest here, let me try it out. And some people can try it out and it not be for them. Some people just know it's never going to be, but they'll say, hey, what do you guys think about this? It happened to click for me. There will be some things where maybe they're just not. I can appreciate the shoe for what it may be, but it just may not be for me. But you all would call cap 1,000 miles away if that creator was not really into that shoe. And I think they are saving themselves from dealing with that type of feedback and pushback from you all. If they are just kind of, maybe avoiding doing those shoes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because it's a big catch-22. The second catch-22 for sneaker YouTubers, but certainly I think just for fashion in general, we live in seasons of change, right? Things are always changing. If you are the same person today as you were many years ago, I would be greatly concerned. There should have been some change, some growth, some evolution, some way, somehow. Getting more in touch with yourself and what is for you and what serves you in this stage of life, this season. And with that change, it should be based on you and your preferences and your wants and desires, okay? Understand that may not sit well with everyone, and I think this is what's difficult when people have tuned into you for a certain thing for a length of time. Because once maybe you're no longer into a certain thing, it doesn't mean that viewers have moved on from you being into that thing, right? So, case in point, Fear of God Essentials. So some of you are awesome to still watch those videos, or my videos they still populate within the search engine and people search Fear of God or Essentials and hoodies and sizing. And I hope those videos are helpful for people that continue to go back. And maybe they are in this period where they didn't buy a whole lot of his stuff before because it was just way too overpriced for them. Now it's heavily discounted. Like you can go on Essence right now, that coral crew neck I have that I wore with the Stewie 3 Dawn, that's I think $26 right now. So there are sales to be had on Essence for their big sale, summer sale that's going on right now. Maybe this is the season where you're choosing to buy Fear of God Essentials. And listen, if some of us have moved away from the new designs and styles and maybe we have enough of what we need from that brand, it's okay if you're buying that brand. Okay? Like, just please, like, that's not how I am over here. You buy what is working for you and what you want, and hopefully you get it for a really great deal. But I've moved on. I've been very vocal that the current styles and things, they just don't work for me. So the catch-22 for me, even if I were to appease people that may want that content back, it would be disingenuous to myself, especially when it's documented of me saying these new hoodies are absolutely positively not for me. I have not said that they are trash, but I have just vocalized they are not for me. And I think that's okay. That is true to myself. I want just the traditional hoodie. I love the traditional fit, the traditional cuffs, not what it's gone to now. Jerry is creating what Jerry wants to create, and that is great. It just doesn't work for me. I also don't need just another regular hoodie or sweatpants. I have enough. If I have another hoodie in mind now, it will probably be very specific to a certain message that just is, you know, very personal to me, or maybe it's sports related, because a lot of what I buy now is sports related. But that's what it'll be. So I think the catch-22 for me, yeah, I could give you guys that content, but it just wouldn't feel real. It just wouldn't. And I think there are quality creators that you can watch here on the channel to still give you that content, because they are putting forth that effort to buy the items, an array of items that come out for these drops in the seasons, show you how they fit, give you their genuine feedback, and then you can make your decision from there, right? So I highly encourage you, watch Sharoy, watch Paul on Locust and Wild Honey, and they will still go through the sizing and what they think and the new colors that are coming out for Fear of God seasons. I think that's amazing. So please go ahead and support them. I just don't have intention of picking up anything. I think someone made one comment, and then there was another one of they were like, oh, I'm awaiting like certain hauls, and the word haul it's not even going to be, you know, here on the channel. I want to get away from that thought process of all of this stuff coming in. Not that it's incessantly bad, but I'm just trying to personally get away from that. That's just where I am. The other thing, and this is just like sharing with you guys, because I know some of you have commented, you want the old videos. You missed the videos in which there were tons of outfits and things of that nature. One, a lot of outfit changes, or how I style. I even tried to get away from how to style, because it's really just how I style. You wear these shoes however you want. You wear the clothes however you want. It's really just how I style. Just how to style gets in the algorithm better. But how I style those things, it was predicated on the fact something new was coming in. I'm not buying new things like that. I'm just not. I am that individual wearing a lot of what I already have in my closet. I am getting rid of tons of stuff, right? Like for Fear of God Essentials, I've given away and sold like over 30 items. And I'm probably not done. Truthfully, I'm probably not done. So that will continue. I'm not buying as many new things. I do have some new things that finally I decided to pick up, and they're all in relation to women's basketball, or they were gifts that I also received, just centered around like women's basketball. So I will have that up just in terms of tees and some jerseys, and I'll eventually get that video done, because the other thing, those are the most time-consuming videos. They are extremely time consuming, okay? To do the setup, go through fit after fit after fit, and put everything away. It's a lot. It is truly the most time consuming content that I can make. And mind you, I'm doing this all by myself, so it's a lot, and I have to make sure that I have the time to be able to do that. And I am trying to find harmony within all things, especially in trying to just slow down and enjoy life and not actually treat everything the way it's been treated in the past, because I am in a season of life now where I can slow down. And yes, a lot of that is due to these student loans being paid off. I can slow down, and I'm going to fully embrace that in whatever way is best for me. So there are some catch-22s that come with being, you know, a sneaker YouTuber or being within fashion. If you are trying to stay true to yourself, you have to try to get, you know, there's that give and take of what do your viewers want, and then what do you genuinely want to make, and can you meet somewhere in the middle? And if you don't, how unhappy are you willing to be just to get the content out and get the views out? And if you're a full-time creative, that's kind of what you need to do to be able to stay on top and pay the bills. And I don't envy that, because it seems like a very difficult position to be in. Not one I would want to be in, and the fact that I'm not a full-time creative and I'm not a full-time creator on here, I don't have to burden myself with that, but I just wanted to kind of touch on that I think that reality that is sometimes missed. And since I stand on both sides of being a viewer and a creator, hopefully you appreciated this video. I know there is so much going on in sneakers. I mean, everything like happened to drop, and a lot of things drop all the time, but you guys seem to think that sneakers are dry. I think they're not, so you can watch that video. But, you know, shout out to J Tips and his drop that happened. Angel Reese had a brand new collection drop with Reebok. Under Armour honored Kelsey Plum with her 30th birthday with 2 new pairs. And there's so much that's going on right now, okay? So based on your fandom or your preference, you have options. You have options. So please be sure to explore those. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.